I'm going to admit it. I have listened to this quite a few times, but I really enjoyed it and I really wanted to talk it through with you guys.
Wow.
And Aurora is one of my students' favourite singers. Hey Zoe! So I was enchanted by this. So let's give it a listen.
Driving your car with you, sleeping in the seat next to me like a baby. You twist and you turn, you are traveling fast like a bird in a dream. Look at it go, look at it dance over the sky like a rocket. A love machine, a cinematic dream, so pure that it hurts when the beauty is lost in the speed, 'cause everything matters to me.
Oh, I love when that bass comes in. I just think it is beautifully sung. I think that it's a real masterclass in that more doesn't always mean better. It's so small but well placed. The tiny changes in texture between rhythm and full tone is so interesting. Aurora already has a really interesting tone. She takes her style from a lot of kind of folk singers, both Celtic and Scandinavian. And the difference is there is a lot of kind of head voice. It's a lighter sound, but often a little bit it's to do with the soft palate. This doesn't work for everyone, so I'm going to point it out, and it only works for certain styles. And sometimes some people can be a little unstable with this, but it's all about how high your soft palate is raised and how low your larynx is. So your larynx is your voice box, and you can kind of feel it in your neck, that kind of bumpy bit. Or if you're a guy, it's your Adam's apple. And if you make a you might be able to hear it vibrate. Now, if you go woo woo woo, like a really dopey sort of, I always say a bear. I always think of it as a bear sound. That's your larynx lowered. It's making a longer space between your lips and your larynx. And if you were like, I don't know, a little scream like that, maybe, it brings it up. Depends on the person. Depends on what you do. But so her larynx isn't particularly low. It's maybe neutral, maybe a little bit higher. And her soft palate, the squidgy bit at the back of your mouth, is maybe not raised that much. So if you hear opera singers, they often raise it a lot. It's really, really high, and they make a massive space, and they lower that larynx, and it makes it a big, warm, epic sound. Hers is a thinner sound, and that thinner sound works so beautifully for her. A thin sound doesn't work well for everyone, but it sounds so great on her.
To me, to me, to me, to me.
Yes.
To me. You're a part of the dawn where the light comes from the dark. You're a part of the morning and everything matters. And we are an atom and a star. You're a part of the movement and everything matters. To me, to me, to me, to me.
Don't you just feel like you found like these two elven creatures, or like, you know, they're like the mythical creatures of their countries, and you might be able to like find them in a beautiful forest or near a rock somewhere. I don't know. But actually where we found them is Pomme is from YouTube. She was a YouTuber who did singing and then got picked up that way, and she has a beautiful warmth to her voice. It contrasts really well to Aurora's. They both kind of have this ethereal quality, whereas hers is like lower and darker, and Aurora is up in the gods up there, and it just gives you this real kind of spectrum of frequencies, a real contrast yet blend. They're so blendy and lovely.
I'm watching a storm turn into form in the clouds of the world like a bird.
So unusual.
It dances and it twirls on top of the world. It is good and it hurts. Look at it go, look at it dance over the sky like a rocket. A teacher, a simulated dream, a cure for the hurt and the pleasure.
they switched. So Pomme's on the high harmony. So I'm taking that back. Pomme's on that high harmony there, and it's high and ethereal, and she's really matching that style, which is, she has often that like floaty head voice and then a warm lower end of her voice. Aurora has that nasality that cuts through, and you hear that in the middle there. It's really, what a pair. And I love this song. I feel like I can't believe this is a pop song. It's so classic. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like it comes from medieval times, like it's always been in our history, and that's what I love about it.
To me, to me, to me, to me. To me, to me, to me, to me, to me. Quelque part avant l'aube, quand la lumière veut nous voir, quelque part dans le monde, un oiseau s'endort sans bruit. Toi et moi, dans la nuit, on trouvera quelque part où déposer les fleurs qu'on accueille. Part avant l'aube, quand la lumière veut nous voir, quelque part dans le monde, un oiseau s'endort sans bruit. Toi et moi, dans la nuit, on trouvera quelque part où déposer
And then
les fleurs qu'on accueille.
French piano style in there.
Avant l'aube, quand la lumière veut nous voir, quelque part dans le monde, un oiseau s'endort sans bruit. Toi et moi, dans la nuit, on trouvera quelque part où déposer les fleurs qu'on accueille. Promis, 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 promis.
So beautiful. It reminds me of Michel Leggrand's musical or movie, or it's just so beautiful. I love how you have this kind of old vintage French movie style, yet kind of old and folky, like medieval British at the same time. It's wonderful. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.